Welcome, dear friends. Um, there is a line from the Bible, from the good Lord, which says, "Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof." My understanding of this is that, each day there's plenty of challenge and problem in just this day, today. You know, there's plenty to grapple with and try to overcome, to make progress, for the good, your personal good, the collective good, whatever. Um, and so, but so often we get swept up in thinking about the future or even the past, the evils or the things that we don't like about, potentially the future and, about the past that has already happened. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that, which is, I think first heard of this actually from Eckhart Tolle, who has a lot of good things, very insightful things to say about the words of Jesus, like just getting straight to the core of it. A lot of it's very similar to Buddhism, very mystical in a way, but saying live in the now, don't have your head in the past or the future all the time. Most people live in the past and the future, and take brief holidays into the now, whereas it should actually be flipped. You should be living in the now, taking brief holidays into the future and the past for practical purposes of like, oh, well, I need to remember something or I need to plan something. And so I think this is very wise. And for anyone, like say I'm doing what I can, and a lot of people are doing what we can to bring balance to our society here in Ireland and in the world. We could say in the West and in Europe and in the world. Um, like we could say the traditions of freedom and limited government, um, like individual liberty, which is very unusual throughout history. These have been the norm in the West, and although it's never completely perfect, it's gone in waves. Um, and in recent decades, it's becoming more and more oligarchical and corporately controlled, and the media's been sneaky, actually sliding into this kind of propaganda role. Um, so at this point, it's not that free, but still freer than most of the world. Which is why many people want to. There's one reason many people want to be in the West. But anyway, the West has this challenge trying to find kind of reconnect with tradition and also reconnect with community, but also reconnecting with this specifically the part of tradition which is individual liberty and limited government. So this is a big challenge we're facing in the world, and in Ireland there's a slightly different situation. It's part of that, but it's also basically trying to preserve the native culture when the government, such as it is kind of pretty seems hell bent on kind of destroying the traditional way of life. And you can look at my other videos for the details of this, but I believe in peace and love to all people. But you have a right to your own home, and you have a right to your own country, and it does not make you unloving to set a boundary. Someone says, "Jamie, I want to hang out with you today." Oh, sorry, I'm busy. Or maybe, oh, sorry, I don't really want to hang out with you. Does that make me an awful person? No, it makes me not a spineless person. So countries, need to be able to say this is our way of life and this is that. And every country should have this respected. Two wrongs don't make a right. You can't say, oh, European empires did this to the rest of the world. They dominated. Therefore, it's Europe's time to get dominated. It's like, well, Ireland didn't do that. And anyway, even for like France or something, it's like they didn't do it. It's not them. Like it was different people. And even if it was the same people, two wrongs don't make a right. Doesn't mean so. Anyway, but this applies, I think, in this context, right? Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. We're trying to make these improvements in the world, but often we're getting. I think many people get lost in this feeling of like it's hopeless. There's so much work to do. There's so much change to do. So many people are still asleep. Um, and I think this also applies any whatever you're doing. Oh, I'm trying to get a promotion. I'm trying to get fit. I'm trying to lose 30 kilograms. I'm trying to get a visa to whatever. I'm trying to move to Iran from wherever I am, or I'm trying to move to a different part of Russia. I live in Russia or whatever. Whatever goal you have, or your country has, or your group, or your family. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So focus on the now. Like, here are some other useful sayings. The man who moves a mountain starts by taking away small stones. And so, you have to move it bit by bit. Or there's another traditional Chinese proverb that goes something like, the man who crafts a number one hit pop banger starts by playing one note. Um, and or there's another one, I think it's a traditional Jamaican proverb from a few thousand years ago, goes something like, the man who memorizes pi to 1,000 digits begins by memorizing one digit. So yeah, so these are, you get the idea, right? Um, One thing at a time, And so here's the point to wrap up: connecting to a feeling of like, we are here, there's nowhere else we need to be, I am where I should be, and the world is where it should be. And yes, there is this future that we want. There's a future I want for myself. There's a future I want for Ireland. There's a future I want for Europe. A future I want for the West. The future I want for Sudan. The future I want for, China, Japan. I care about these other places too, and the world, you know. So there are these futures we want. And it's good that we are trying to realize these and make it happen, um, and try to interact with others as peacefully, but as clearly and in some cases assertively as required to try to guide things in the right way, because people disagree, and so we need to try to figure out through logic and heart and self-defense at certain times, meaning force, but to defend your territory, your body, your property, your space. Um, we have to negotiate this and try to move things in the right direction. But today, so it's good. We need to be thinking ahead. But the paradox is today we don't need to be doing that. We just need to be doing the little bit right now. I'm making this video right now. That's all I have to be doing. So there's this sense you might have of I'm behind schedule, or we're behind schedule, or it's too late, or there's too much to do. These are all stories which involve the past and the future. As Eckhart Tolle will say, like author of The Power of Now, great book, or A New Earth. I highly recommend both of them. If you're especially Irish, nationalists or like patriots, if you're trying to defend Ireland or anyone, whatever country you're from, you want your country to do well, you want your family to do well, you want yourself to do well. Highly recommend The Power of Now and A New Earth, just to get like the vision of basically the psychological bedrock of what's actually going on and what we need to, the blueprint for how to move things in a good direction. Um, what I'm trying to do is basically connect spirituality and these deep truths with politics and try to bring it out into the world. Not because you have the spiritual people like, oh, the world, trying to change the world. Yeah, okay, change yourself. Don't, this need for the world to be different is actually an unhealthy thing. You need to just try, accept it and change yourself. And they're correct. And then there's other people who are like, trying to change the world and like, spirituality, whatever. You're just tuning out, and there's real problems, and you need to deal with it. I think there's a middle ground where it's like, change the world for the better, not because you need to or it needs to or because it's bad, on some fundamental level, but just because it's love, you know, fix yourself and take care of yourself. But you're a free being. We're all here, it's all life. So express your creativity into the world and care and try to make a more beautiful world. You have the balance. Don't just tune out and go, oh, it's fine. It's meant to be this way. It's destiny that the civilization crumbles and barbarians take over. No, no, like we try to make a more enlightened planet. So anyway, one thing, at a time. And so I hope you can tune into this sense that whatever you're doing, do it. But that we can say, like, today, we can only do what we can do today. And paradoxically and ironically, um, by kind of accepting, like, okay, the future will be what it will be. I don't need to think about it. I just need to focus on right now and being a good person, as Marcus Aurelius said. Just be a, a good person today. That's all you have to do. And and anyway, so ironically, doing that is actually the most effective way to achieve these goals about the future. If you're too focused on the future, you'll mess it up. Um, the quality of the future situations is completely 100% dependent on the quality of your present state of consciousness, which is your contribution, because your actions and your speech and everything and your thoughts flow on from your state of consciousness. So if we're too resisting, it's not fair, and it's not, and even if in a way it's not fair, a lot of the things going on, if we're in that resistant frame of mind, then our thoughts and actions are going to be hindered and hampered by that. So whereas if we can kind of be at peace, then we access the full consciousness available, and we can be more powerful. We can think more clearly. We can be more attractive to other people and get them to resonate. Even people who are kind of afraid or angry, our energy, the energy of peace, will kind of, you know, counteract their negative energy. Whereas if we just get angry, then everyone just, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, sort of thing. So, but anyway, one final note, I did say to wrap up, but one final note is that even think about, like, to really help bring this home, of like, just be here now, work on these important projects. But, and there's something I need to remind myself, like, yeah, be working on these things, but you can feel good and peaceful and a sense of destination. It's not in the future. It's right here, right now. This is the destination. You did it. You made it. Here you are. Enjoy, because it's all about right now. And the thing is, even if, say, the future, say the universe God could click his fingers and everything's perfect, and the whole universe is perfect, everything's perfect, there's no evil, and everyone's happy, and everyone communicates clearly, and there's complete free market capitalism, and so everyone basically has economic freedom. Like, if you want to participate in a trade, do so. If you don't, then you don't. No one can force you to do anything. Then say the state gets involved and stops that. But like, yeah, so you're allowed to be with who you want to be, say what you want to say, think what you want to think, trade what you want to trade. No one taxes you. There's very minimal taxation. So everyone's creativity and love and higher consciousness is unleashed, and we can resurrect the best of our traditional culture, and there's beauty in art, and everything is expressing itself. Nature is healing. All these wonderful adventures and love affairs, and friendships, and books being written and read, and amazing things going on. That sounds great, you know. But if there was no darkness, no challenge, no problem, no ignorance to light up with awareness, no hatred to melt with love, no hunger to take care of and bring justice to through developing the fruits of the trees that we can plant. If we didn't have these challenges, then like, to a certain point, it loses some of its meaning, at the very least, maybe all of its meaning. I think, the journey of love to a large extent is overcoming, fear and division. And so we're, yes, there's a lot of problems we're facing, but actually it's not so much about getting to some point where all of it's fixed, because it's never going to be totally fixed, and we might not even want that anyway. But perhaps it's more about learning and about expressing goodness and being a good person now, right now. And so maybe it's actually a gift that the world is so messed up, and Ireland's, you know, been oppressed for 800 years, and someone's like, yeah, give them a little bit more. Why not? Um, Maybe it's a good thing, that it brings out, the very best of character, you know. So, Goramy Lamagwiv, hope that's interesting for you. Like, subscribe, share the video. Uh, Gaelic Awakening, my political party. I'm Jamie McGlue. I'm running for Dublin Bay North in the coming general elections in Ireland. So I need 300 people, or we need, the party, new political party. We need 300 members to register. It's free. Okay, you can go to Gaelic Awakening, Gaelic Awakening. You should be able to spell that if you're awake. .ie, and go there. You can click, become a member. And 300 members, then we can register ourselves. If not, I'll be running as an independent, but it would be much cleaner and more beautiful, and Gahalan or Fod, if you would help me out and register there. And you can also donate. That would be, very much appreciated, to pay for leaflets, posters, all that kind of thing. And so basically my core policies: free speech, fair borders, full sovereignty. You can go to the website and you'll see a whole list of, no to these things, yes to these things, nice and simple, dot points. And so I'm putting myself forward to try to make an improvement and bring balance to the system. So if that sounds good, please help me, help you, help you, help me. All right, Slán.